Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the channel Psychological Theatre. And we are back on this beautiful day. The sky is nice and open and free, and the sun is blessing us with some really good sunlight. The field is open. I have this beautiful tree behind me. Some birds are waking up, and I think it's a good time to discuss and continue our journey on the topic of psychology, on the topic of meditation. And today I would like to pick up something which is quite difficult to grasp, and it's a topic of big research even in science, and we would try to maybe introduce it today, and then let's see, maybe we can go forward with it. So in essence, it's part of our everyday life, and that is the word time. So time in general, if we define, is taken as the value of an instant. Okay, when we look at a clock, as I can right now, I can see what is the value of the instance right now according to the system that humans have defined. Okay, so whatever system we are using, in whatever region you are, there is a system defined for that region, and then those systems are interconnected. The International Standard Time, the European Standard Time, the Indian Standard Time, the maybe there is a Chinese Standard Time, American Standard. So all these are interconnected, and then these values are what we call, in general, a normal person would call time. Okay, that time is what I see in my watch. Okay, what value I designate to this present right now. If we move a little bit further than that and ask maybe a person who is more interested into time, or who has been in research or something, then maybe some more logical or more experiential explanations will come out. So experientially, we see that time is more like a movement. Okay, and that's why it is studied like a movement. That time is this movement of things. Okay, that things are moving, and we say they are moving because there is time, and we say there is one arrow to time. Okay, and what that means as one arrow is that the three parts of time that humans have defined or divided as the past, the present, and the future. So we always say that time is flowing from the past to the future. It never happens that time starts to flow from future to the past. Okay, so that's why we say there is one arrow to time, from past to the future. And the past is defined as the moment of the beginning of the universe. Okay, in general, it used to be conceived as the Big Bang, where the whole space-time was created. But now even the Big Bang is questioned with new discoveries by the James Webb Telescope, and there are many other aspects. So the general perception is, without making it too complicated, is that from the beginning of the universe we are counting, and we are going towards the age of the universe, and that is how time is flowing from the past to the future. Okay, but from a common man's point of view, from a person who is not so much into scientific equations and all that stuff, just we can say that movement is time, that all that is moving, that movement can be said as time. Okay, so in general, time is part of our daily life. Okay, if I would ask maybe an expert, maybe they wouldn't even hesitate to say that we exist in time. Okay, so because my talking right now is taking time, my movement of the hand is taking time, and the movement of the trees, the sun, everything is taking some kind of time. Okay, so in essence, to discuss time, we have to discuss movement. Just to come to this point, I just gave you a brief background of it, that if I want to discuss time, I have to go into movement. Okay, and if you would look it carefully, you would see that the modern structure of time comes by labeling movements. Okay, if you label a movement, that itself is called time. What I mean by label is, I mean by measure. If you start measuring a movement, okay, then that itself is time, because you have to define from where the movement begins. And with the movement, I mean like any movement. You can say a car begins at point A and goes to point B. So when you say the car has moved from A to B and this much time has taken, what you basically have done in the background is that you have defined that at A the time was 0, and till B you kept counting specific intervals, and those intervals are defined by humans, of course, like the value of 1 second or 1 minute. And when the car moves from point A to point B, you say this much time has passed, in seconds or in minutes or in hours, whatever. So the basic thing is that when movement is measured, then that is basically time. So then the question arises, when movement is not measured, is it not time? Well, in a way it is, but if you don't measure it, a lot of fuzz goes away. Okay, if you don't measure the movement, then the movement becomes something else, actually. Not that it becomes something magically different, but measurement brings a lot of new aspects to the movement. Okay, the reason for measurement is usually because you want to do something about the movement. Okay, why? For example, I measure the movement of the sun. Okay, now I'm measuring the movement of the sun because I want to know what time is day and what time is night. I want to know which months will be colder, which months will be warmer. Okay, and the benefit of that measurement is that I can plan when to plant what kind of crops. I can plan what kind of houses I need according to season, maybe what kind of clothes are needed. So all of those aspects depend on that measurement of how the sun moves. Okay, so in a way that measurement is practically helpful. Okay, but that measurement is still human defined concept. This is what we have to see. Movement is not human defined. When you see something moving, the leaves, you see a rabbit running in the field, that is not human defined, but the measurement you perform on that movement is human defined. Okay, so when you stay in the realm of definitions of movement, when you are defining the movement, when you're measuring the movement, then time is the human-made concept or construct. Okay, and it's a very important construct. It's a very important concept because a lot of practical aspects of our lives depend on it. To send something to the moon, you need that measurement. You cannot just send it. Okay, so basically, what I'm trying to share with you is that if you always stay with the human defined concept or aspect of time, then you never go to the more basic step of time, which is just movement. Okay, if I always measure my movement, okay, then I miss the aspect of just movement, because I'm busy or I'm more interested in looking at how the measurement is performed in the most right and perfect way. So time is a measurement when you are calculating what a movement is doing. Okay, but if you don't calculate what a movement is doing, if you just merely observe the movement, then time takes a totally different form. Okay, the division of time of past, present and future can only exist when you are measuring a movement. Okay, when you measure how the universe is evolving, then only exists a past of the universe and a future of the universe. Okay, but if you are not measuring that movement, if you are only observing the movement and not measuring it at all, then time takes a totally different form. This is what I feel that the modern science is quite lacking and or not interested. Some new scientists are picking up with it, but this is where I think the next step in the research of science, research of time will go. And many new philosophers are pointing towards it. If you would listen to Rupert Spira, he defines it very beautifully that if there is a past and the future, have you ever been there? Like, if there actually exists a place which is the past, have you ever been there? Or you just think it exists? Okay, and it's a very compelling argument by him that if you think something exists but it's not possible to go there, because no one has ever been to the past. Okay, and no one has ever been to the future. We are all living just here right now in this present. So to say in an introductory way, I would say that the way a general person conceives time is according to the measurement of movement. When movement is measured and a lot of complications are applied on it, then what the end result is what we know as time. Okay, the scientific research takes a step forward and takes it into more complexity when they are measuring time. Okay, so essentially the understanding of time without measurement has been done by very few people. Okay, and that is the essence of asking the question that do you ever go to explore time without measurement, or do you spend your whole life learning about time only with the measurement. Okay, so this is how I would maybe introduce the concept of time, where we keep things very simple for a new person, that all kind of movement that you see is time. And then when movement is measured, that is what we know as the present state, in which people usually think of time, is that naming the instant. What instant is it now? It's whatever the time is right now. How do you know it is that? We have defined a system, and according to that system, time right now is this. Okay, so what you say that right now it's 10 a.m. or 15 p.m. or whatever, that is not reality. That's all I want to stress now, that our measurement of a movement is a construct created by humans. It's an idea created by humans, and hence it's not a reality basically existing in nature by itself. Movement exists in nature by itself, not the measurement of movement, not time. Okay, so when we call time as something which is measured, then time is human made. You must have seen these debates, a lot of debates going on. Some people say time doesn't exist, some people say time exists. So I'm just trying to clean that with the help of words. When you are measuring a movement, then time is human made and is not natural or real according to that definition of real. Okay, when you only observe movement without any measurement, that can also be called a kind of time, and that I would call real. Okay, but in that there is no measurement. I cannot tell you anything about that movement because I'm not calculating anything about that movement. I'm merely observing the movement, and that's it. So these are the two clear distinctions which I see right now about time, and this is from where we can begin our discussions on time, and maybe a few more episodes will continue. So I didn't want to overcomplicate it straight. So today I'm introducing it, and I'm introducing this picture of measuring a movement and only observing a movement. These are two very different ways of looking, and they make a huge difference. Trust me, they make a tremendous difference when you put it in your practical life. So thanks again for joining, whoever has joined, and let's keep investigating. Let's keep enjoying our days, our mornings. I hope everyone is having a nice week, and I will try my best to continue our discussion forward as soon as I get the time. Okay, thank you very much.